Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Simply Growing Food Podcast. I'm your host, Dillon. Today, we're going to be talking about, chickens again. Certain things to look for and characteristics on your chickens to help you determine which breeds you might have in your flock, for those who are new to the chicken keeping world. We're also going to do a little recap on the Permaculture Package. I'm going to go through some questions that I've been getting about the program, which is great. That means they listen to the show and they have a few questions before they sign up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to answer some of those questions. And let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about planting some cherries. I don't know, like a pick your own, a little pick your own cherry grove. I don't know. We'll talk about it. That's what's coming up on the SGF. Stay tuned. All right, and welcome back to another episode of the Simply Growing Food Podcast. Okay, we're going to start off talking about pullets. If you heard our previous episodes, you'll know what a pullet is, but for those of you who don't know, a pullet is a female chicken that is not laying eggs. They are about to lay eggs. They're about that 4 to 5 month stage where you could classify them as a pullet, even 3 months. Depends. But that's what a pullet is, a hen that's not a hen, not laying, okay? Once they start to lay, then you call them a hen. Okay, that's just how it goes. So I get a lot of questions this time of year because if you don't know, we grow pullets every spring. We're growing about 300 this year, and these are all going to be females. We give you like an 80% guarantee because we don't even have a guarantee that they're all going to be ladies. Sometimes a boy gets through and, you get a rooster. If that happens to you, just let us know. We usually take them back, no problem. We get people always looking for roosters or hens or so, it's no big deal. But anyway, sometimes a boy will get through. And, knock on wood, we've had that happen every season. There's always going to be a couple. Always going to be a few boys that come in. When you buy in a few hundred chicks, and they're all, they're sexed by humans, as far as I remember. I mean, there might be a machine that does it now, but last I knew, every baby chick gets flipped over and checked to see what exactly it is. That's why you pay more, too. You pay for that. If you've never bought chicks online, first of all, the U.S. government has been allowing baby chick shipments in the mail as early as the 1900. Maybe a little later, possibly even earlier. But you can look it up. It's pretty standard practice. They got this down to a science. So it's so funny. We'll say that. We're like, oh, no, we get them in the mail. And a lot of people are like, what? What? You ship a chicken in the mail? Well, yeah. They're pretty durable at that size, believe it or not. Chickens are pretty durable. For those of you who don't know, before the chicken comes out, it eats its embryonic sac, okay? And it can live on that nutrition for, they say 72 hours, Let's just call it, at least 2 days. I'm going to say at least 2 days. That day 3 is like, good luck. Because once they start to fail, they don't usually stop failing. Their bodies are so small, just whatever. Okay, point is, they get them to you pretty much the next day. They ship them, if not the morning after. So the hatchery we work with, I believe they ship out at night. So they overnight them, and then sometimes we do get them the next day. It's rare, but it's usually 2 days in the mail. Anyway, baby chicks, baby poultry, pretty resilient. They've evolved. We've bred them to do this thing. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if wild birds also did this thing where they eat whatever is left on the inside of the egg before they emerge. Reptiles, for that matter, too, right? Their eggs. Ooh, different topic. Ooh. Anyway, so we raise pullets. And we get people that call and they order, and that's great. That's cool. But they always tell us, like, oh, I picked up some chickens from blah, 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 and I don't really know what they are. So I'm going to go over a little bit of a list of things that will help you determine exactly what kind of breed you might have in your flock. Being a New England grower, I'm going to tell you that, just go with cold hardy breeds. They might lay a little bit less than like a Leghorn or a Blue Andalusian, or, well, actually a Blue Andalusian probably doesn't lay that well. They are a white egg layer. That's the other thing. There's not a lot of really good backyard producing white egg layers that are super cold hardy. I mean, Leghorns can pretty much be grown anywhere. It's more of a Mediterranean breed. Like the ancestry of the Leghorn comes from Mediterranean-based chickens, so they're not like cold hardy birds. They do okay. We have a couple in the flock, but Leghorns usually have like a super, super big comb. And that bad boy, that'll get frostbite. Luckily our barn's heated. Our hens don't really deal with the cold much unless they go out into their yard. But when they come in, the barn's a minimum of 55, 60 degrees. That's also the key to keep them in lay. You got to keep them being able to be comfortable. Okay? Okay. Chickens. I like ones that are suited for this area. To each their own. You want a Sicilian buttercup and you live in New England? Go ahead. Get a Sicilian buttercup. They don't lay for crap. But hey, you want white eggs, whatever. To each their own. Or you want a pretty chicken, to each their own. Anyway, Sicilian buttercups, side note, are one of the only chickens that have a crown comb. Real ugly looking thing. Check them out. I believe they're called a crown. I should have brushed up on all the different combs. There's like single comb, pea comb. A single comb is like your stereotypical, big bright red comb that goes down the middle of the chicken's head. That's called a single. Then they have what's called a pea comb, which chickens like Brahmas have. Brahmas are beautiful birds. And that means that the comb is actually flat to the head. It's like it's really not pronounced. It's barely an indent, like a raised space on the chicken. Let's see, what's the most other... Oh, rose comb. Rose comb is another common comb you'll see, which... what has a rose comb? I think what are those little guys? A Seabright. Seabright is a type of chicken. They come in all sorts of colors now, and they're bantams mostly. So a bantam chicken is like a dwarf chicken. Like they won't get big. Like genetically, they're bred to be a size. So size is definitely one indicator when you're trying to identify a chicken. Because not every chicken variety comes in bantam. Okay, a lot of them do now. Trust me, a lot of them do. And not every bantam variety is really available in standard size. Now, I'm sure the people are out there hearing this, they're going to say, well, I could get blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's true. I'm talking about like the most common situation. Most people are not going to search out super rare chickens and then give them away or sell them to somebody because they're done with them or whatever. No. It's a passion project. So I'm talking about the people that call me and they're like, hey, I got these. What, they look like this. Can you help me? Okay. This is what I go through. I go through size is the first one. Are they big? Are they small? Are they really tall, lanky looking? Because there's some jungle fowl breeds like Saipan chicken. It doesn't look like a chicken. Look it up. They're kind of ugly. Let me think of another one. Well, I was going to say Sumatran. That's actually a nice looking chicken. They don't lay really well at all. But beautiful if you're into exhibition, exhibition chicken. So size is a big indicator when people ask. So then I usually will ask, what kind of comb does it have? Because comb is also breed specific. And again, you could have a hybrid. You could totally have a hybrid chicken. I can't look at it. I'm going over the phone. But so comb is a big deal. So you got the single we talked about, the pea comb, the rose comb, which is what you'd find on a Seabright. It's pretty like enlarged. It's like a pea comb shape, but it's really kind of enlarged. But it's not as big as a single comb. Okay. We're going to get in the weeds here on chicken combs. Rose comb. And buttercup. Buttercup is a comb style. Now, interesting about that, there's only one chicken breed that will have a buttercup comb, and I've also heard it called a crown comb because of the way it looks. It looks like a crown. And that would be the Sicilian buttercup chicken. It looks like a golden campine. Just look it up. It looks like a golden campine, just has a weird crown on it. Has a weird comb on it. Whatever. Again, the more ornate, sometimes the worse, depending on your region, because I used to know people that had them, and they would always get frostbite. Now, side note, a good way to prevent that on a chicken is a little petroleum jelly. If you're super concerned about it, just do it. Just do it. It's gonna help them. Now, I've known roosters that have had frostbite on their comb. Those pieces fall off, and they do okay. I'm not saying it's great. Sometimes they even grow back a little. So we don't have that problem. Our birds come inside. So comb is another big indicator. So there's like 7. I think let me see here. I will double check. But I believe there are about 7 or 8 different types of combs that will be found on a chicken. I just went through the most common. So like I said, the single is your stereotypical, chicken-looking comb. A pea comb, again, you're going to find that on a larger breed like a Brahma. Strawberry, so strawberry combs are interesting. So it looks like a rose comb without the tail on it. You'll see a rose comb. If you just look these up, you'll see what I'm talking about. But strawberry comb is just like enlarged. So that's more like a Malay chicken or what was that other one? Malay or a Yokohama. That's right, Yokohama chicken or the Malay chicken. So that's those are 2 examples of chickens that you might see around here. I've seen them. I've seen people have them that have strawberry combs. Let me think. Another common one is the walnut comb. Okay, you're going to see that on a silky, for those of you who have had chickens, I'm sure you know what a silky chicken is. They have a walnut comb. It kind of looks like a walnut. It's kind of weird. It's gross. I talked about the buttercup. The V-shape comb. You're going to see that on a chicken like a sultan. Or I don't remember the French term, the French chicken breed. Can't remember. And what else? Oh, a cushion comb. A cushion comb is also one you're going to find on like jungle fowl, I would say predominantly. And common thing, people will mix up Brahmas and Cochins. Okay, they're both large. They both have feathers on their legs, okay? There's another indicator. Always look if there's feathers on the leg and foot because, again, not all breeds have that. So these are just things that I look at, might help you determine exactly what to look for. So we got size, we got comb type. Now we got feathers on the feet, okay? Because that really puts you in 2 different groups. Feather-legged or no feathers. So... But Cochins and Brahmas get confused a lot, and the biggest indicator on those, for the females especially, is just look at the comb. Cochins will have a single comb, Brahmas will have a pea comb, okay? But otherwise, they're both really big, fluffy chickens. They kind of get to the same size, like 8-10 pounds, nice-sized chickens. Very friendly, both of them, too, so they get confused a lot. But the biggest indicator on that is going to be the comb. Let's see what else. Comb, another big one, earlobes. Okay, you're like, what? Chickens have earlobes? Yeah, that little like red or white patch of skin behind the eye, basically, is the earlobe. Now, something to always consider. If the chicken has red earlobes, it's going to lay brown eggs. Period. Okay? For an extremely rare genetic exception, if they have red earlobes, they're going to lay brown eggs. If they have white or blue earlobes, they're going to lay white eggs. Okay? Now, I'll give you an exception. Easter eggers. Easter egger chickens have, actually I gotta double check, but I think they have, let me see here. It's not often you Google earlobes for a chicken. Yeah, right, because they're a genetic weirdo. So they can actually have any color earlobe, but they are usually red or white. Okay, so they could be blue. They could be like a dark green, I've seen. But yeah, like it says, primarily red or white. But again, an Easter egg or chicken is going to lay a blue or green egg. So you don't even have the dichotomy of brown or white. You have the dichotomy of blue or green. They're still not going to be normal, you know. But Easter eggers are a hybrid, so you're going to get different qualities and characteristics when you have crossbred chickens, like, obviously. Okay, size, comb, feathers on the feet, okay? I didn't give you an example, but let me give you an example. Brahma chickens, like I said before, have feathers on the feet. Barred Plymouth Rocks, or any Plymouth Rock variety color, no feathers on the feet, okay? Very, very basic. And again, you know, they will say, I've heard this before in chicken breeding circles, that feather-footed chickens will go in the snow more. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I've seen that. I've seen that happen, you know. So again, get chicken breeds that are good for your area. I mean, there's so freaking many, and they've all been bred for certain traits. And a lot of those traits have to do with the seasons, the geographic location, etc., etc. Toe count. This one gets overlooked a lot, okay? And this is a real good indicator because there's only a few chickens that have more than 4 toes, okay? Most chicken varieties have 4 toes. Weird thing, but you probably never thought about it. Some have 5, okay? Those varieties consist of Silkies, are a 5-toed chicken. Dorkings, super rare to find a Dorking. I'd really like to get a breeding pair or trio of Dorkings. They're one of the oldest domesticated chicken varieties that have been like purebred, you know, breed true, let me say, dating back all the way to the Romans. Dorkings, there's a town in England named after them. I mean, Dorking's beautiful. Look them up. Really cool chicken. And they're like your basic, stereotypical looking chicken. I mean, duh. Right? But they have 5 toes. Okay, so I'm trying to think. There's got to be another one that's got 5 toes. I want to say something like a Polish chicken. No, Polish chickens. They don't have. No, let me. Again, got to give it a goog. Yeah, Dorkings. Oh, Faverolles, of course. Salmon Faverolles. Also kind of not common, but pretty birds nonetheless. Houdans, you'll never see those. Well, maybe, but I rarely see a Houdan. And Sultans, which look a lot like a Silkie, but they're not. So those 5 breeds, Dorkings, Faverolles, Houdans, Silkies, and Sultans. I've got this other one here that's called a Mystic Onyx. I don't think that's a APA recognized breed, so we're not going to dive into that. Mystic Onyx chicken. See, the chicken person in me is like, what is this? Is someone's new breed? One of my dreams was always to, when we had the hatchery, and maybe someday I still will, but to get my own breed certified. That would be cool. But anyway, that takes years and a lot more time than I have right now. So, let me see, what are those 5 indicators we got? I'm going to go over one more time. Size of your chicken, comb type, earlobe color, feathers on the feet, and toe count. All of those 5 things right there. Do a little research, become a little bit more versed in what you're looking at, because you can't always tell by like, oh, it's got this color pattern, so it must be this. Well, no, right? Because you can have a barred Orpington, let's say, and a barred rock. Side note, Orpingtons are most commonly found in the buff color, but they come in like all different colors. Don't even get me started on English Orpingtons. You people out there that love the English Orpingtons, you're like horse folks. I love you both, but you're your own breed. No pun intended. Anyway, so a barred Orpington is going to have gray colored legs. Leg color is another good indicator. See, there's quite a few. I would call that number 6, color of the leg, okay? Because a barred Orpington is going to have pale, grayish colored legs, and a barred rock is going to have yellow legs, okay? So I've seen before, like, the best example of that is like a buff Orpington next to a buff rock. And it's going to happen. Size at the end when they're fully grown is going to be different. Like buff Orpingtons are going to be bigger than a buff rock. Same color, same lay rate, just about. Rocks are going to be a little bit higher than a buff, but whatever. They've all been bred for their own characteristics. But if you put those two chickens next to each other, most people would say they are the same chicken. The biggest indicator, and it will stand out, is going to be the leg color. I've seen this many times. And then boom, you can kind of move forward in figuring out your breed. So simple things like that will help you determine if you what you have, and then like if you're picking up chickens at random, again, be leery of diseases. Don't just buy or get free chickens because they're free chickens. Know the person, know their setup, and know that the chickens are healthy. That actually should be number 1. But if you go ahead and you think that they're healthy before you bring them home and you do the thing and you don't know what they are, go through those things, okay? One more time, I'm going to beat it into you. Think of comb style. I already forgot. Comb style, size of the bird, feathers on the feet, color of the feet, number of toes, and earlobes. All right. I probably bored you to death now with chicken identification. But it's important, and some people care. All right, moving on, we're going to get into the Permaculture Package recap. Now, we launched this program approximately 18 days ago, and I'm going to say we're about 50% sold out, maybe even more. I wanted to sell 10 shares. I think we're at 6. Yeah, 6 people committed to the package. So that being said, we've had a lot of questions along the way from folks because I did not do a great job in the flyer detailing everything, which is fine. I want you to reach out, and I've explained all the answers to those people. But I want to go over it here because I know a few people only listened and found out about it on the podcast. So for those folks and for the future folks that listen to Permaculture Package 1, here is a little recap on that. So basically, the Permaculture Package comes in silver or gold. The silver package comes with half a pig, 20 of our broiler chickens, and 20 pounds of local beef from Woodstock Creamery. The gold package comes with a whole pig, 30 of our broiler chickens, and 30 pounds of beef from Woodstock Creamery, along with one of our Thanksgiving turkeys. So the chicken and the pork and the turkey are all grown here. The beef is grown in Woodstock. We eat the beef. We swear by it. It's on our menu, okay? If it's on the menu, we swear by it. Otherwise, no, not the point. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me, it says ready in May. Does that mean I get everything in May? No. The program will begin in May because that's when we will have our fresh chicken beginning to come off a pasture and go into freezers. So that's when you can begin to pick up some of your meat. Now, the pork and the turkey is listed as seasonal. Of course, the whole thing is seasonal, but like pork is in the fall, turkey is in November. So that's when you can expect to get those items. The chicken and beef will be ready for pickup as early as May. Now, you don't have to take. Here's the other thing. Everyone's like, I don't have the freezer space. Hey, I feel you. So here's the situation. If you join and you buy the silver package, let's say. Actually, if you join and you buy either package, you're basically also enrolling yourself into our flock share program. Small plug, there's still some space for our 2025 pasture-raised chicken flock. Sign up now and save tomorrow. Plug over. So when you sign up for the Permaculture Package, you're basically in the flock share program. What's the flock share program? You come every month and you pick up a minimum of 5 chickens, and then you take them home the same day that we process them. They're ready for the freezer, or you can eat them, whatever you want to do with them. But signing up for one of the permaculture packages automatically enrolls you into the flock share because there's chicken involved. So I hope that kind of sums that up a little bit. So at the same time, when you come to get your chicken, you can also schedule to get beef. Now, you can get all the beef in May. You can get 5 pounds of beef in May and 5 pounds of beef in June and 5 pounds of beef. So you don't have to, just like the chickens, you don't have to take the beef all at once either. I would recommend you do, that's just me, if you have the space, that way you have it. And it's less that you got to think about when you come see us and less that we got to think about when we see you. But again, we're allowing you to figure it out, like what works best for you and your family, because that's kind of the whole purpose, right? Offering this bulk package and then all the stuff that comes with it. We want it to be kind of catered to you as best we can. So if you sign up, let's say for the 20 package, you get 20 pounds of beef, 20 pounds of beef, and then 20 whole chickens. And then you get the half a pig in the fall. What you can do is come every month with our flock share people, which you're going to have to do to get the chicken anyway, unless you come on the weekend when the stand's open, because this is not delivered. You come on the same day we do flock share and get your chicken and your beef. And again, you could do it May, June, July, and August, and then wait, and then, we'll see you in October for your half a pig. Or you can start getting it in July, and do July, August, September, October, and then get it, however it works for you. We are asking that you take counts of 5 so it makes sense for us and you on both the chicken and the beef every time you come out. So, and again, if you wanted to get your 20 birds in May and your 20 pounds of beef in May, no problem. Or in June, July, or August, or September, or October, or whatever, doesn't matter. Okay? You can break it up, minimum of 5 each time. Okay? Take it all at once. You just got to let me know so I can get the beef. Because again, we don't grow the beef. Okay, so that's something. That was a big question. Everyone was like, I don't have the freezer space. Okay. So what else we got here? I made a little bit of a list. Oh yeah, this is pickup only, of course. And then if you see the permaculture package and you're like, oh well, actually we don't eat a lot of pork, which is so weird. I get that a lot. Like, oh, we don't eat a lot of pork. Well, I wouldn't eat the pork in the store either. And if that's all you're accustomed to, then hey, so be it. Don't buy it. It's disgusting. It's 100% disgusting. The pork in the store is gross. The meat in the store is gross. Okay, organic, not organic, whatever the label says. It's coming. No. It's coming from a big manufacturer, most likely. Nope. It's all trash. Okay, so we get that a lot. I don't eat a lot of pork. Can I just get the flock share? Yes, you can. I don't eat a lot of chicken or pork. Can I just get the beef? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can buy it all individually. You can get a half a pig, a whole pig. We don't do quarters. And if you want to get more chickens and join the flock share as well, you can, whatever. You can adjust it, please. Just let us know. And we'll go from there. So freezer space isn't an issue. We can work around the flow of the product for you. Pickup is going to be, you can either pick it up at the farm stand. I guess we're going to give the permaculture package folks that option. You can pick it up at the farm stand on the weekends, but you got to schedule it with us so we have your product. Okay? Don't just stop in and be like, hey, where's my chicken? Okay, you gotta correspond with us. We'll be corresponding with you. So you gotta just let us know. If you don't let us know, we're still gonna get you the chicken. It probably just won't be that month because our chicken goes so fast. Now we're tripling our production almost this year. So hopefully we don't have that problem. But okay, I digress. Let's see. Amounts. Oh yeah, amounts. I have had some people ask, like, how much space does a half or a whole pig take up in my freezer? Well, let me just say, you could probably fit most of a half a pig in your stereotypical, home kitchen freezer, okay? Top freezer. You could probably fit almost a half a pig. Not all of it. No, probably not all of it, because the smoked meat will take up more, the sausage will take up more space. So if you got like, let me see, what do I have down in the grow room? I think we've got like a 6 cubic foot. Might even be smaller, like a 4. I don't know. It's a small guy. It's only like 3.5 feet long by 2 feet wide. Maybe. That would hold a whole pig. Easily. And they don't take up a lot of energy, and they certainly don't take up a lot of space. So you might need to make the investment, okay? But you know what? It's a small investment for being able to control the meat that you put inside your body. Being able to control what you're feeding your family, okay? That $200, $300 freezer and your $15 to $20 electric bill every month for running it, it might even be less, is going to be well worth it in the long run when, you don't have all these metabolic issues. Because you're eating clean meat. This meat is clean. It's coming from our farm, which is clean, okay? The animals live outside, on grass, in the woods, on pasture. I mean, even Woodstock Creamery's animals very clean. They live outside. They're on pasture. I mean, they do the right thing. We don't work with vendors that we don't agree with business ethics-wise. So, we've had vendors in the past that don't let their animals really go outside, and they sell meat. And so, we don't use them anymore because there's a difference. I'm telling you, there's a difference in the quality. Not the point. Okay. Permaculture Package. Cost. I had someone tell me that it wasn't enough, that I wasn't charging enough money, which I guess I like to hear, but they also didn't sign up, so I guess I am charging too much money. I don't know. You could take that for however you want. Maybe because it was cheaper, they thought it was less legitimate. I have no idea. What I could tell you about the cost is I'm making the margin that I need to make. The farmer that's supplying the beef is making the margin she needs to make. You don't really ever get paid for the headache, so that's my gift to you. The scheduling. I have seen similar programs go for a little bit more money. I saw a farm down in Stonington. They're selling a whole pig for $1,000 to $1,200. We sell a whole pig for $800. So we're a little bit less. I would imagine our costs are maybe a little bit less. They're also catering to a different clientele. I'm trying to cater to all sorts of clientele. $1,200 a pig is too much. It's too much. My opinion. I don't think people up here would pay for it. I wouldn't want to pay for it. I see the prices of a whole cow is like $5,000 to $6,000 depending on where you're getting it, and then you still got to pay to butcher and wrap it. And I'm like, oh my goodness! Not that the farm isn't worth that. The farmer is worth that. I get it. That is just a lot of cost. I'm sure they have into it too. Like $5,000 a cow. Hoo-wee! That's a lot. But, just a quick example. If we bought a whole cow and ground the whole thing into burger and got 600-800 pounds of burger, we sell it for $10 a pound. So that's $6,000 to $8,000 worth of revenue. Right? So, we can figure it out. And we've actually talked about it too. Starting to buy a half or a whole cow because we go through so much beef. Our customers love the beef. The beef is good. Angela, shout out Angela, Woodstock Creamery. The beef is good. The beef is great. And so are the dairy products. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of those people that can't really eat dairy from the store, but I have no problem with the local dairy up at Woodstock Creamery. Their products don't bother my stomach at all. And I tell everybody, they come in, they say, oh, I wish I could try the skyr, but my stomach doesn't like dairy. And I've actually given it away. I'm like, try it. Take it home. Try it. Angela's done that. She's given us samples. Take it home. Try it. If it doesn't agree with you, hey, we tried. But I hope it does agree with you. And we've experienced the same thing. People come back and they say, wow, that stuff is really good. It doesn't bother me at all. Let me get 3 of them. So there's something to it, and their whole thing is to, I believe, and Angela, I'm sorry if I butcher this. I will get the facts and go over it again if I'm wrong. But I believe that they pasteurize it at a lower temperature, still legal, so it doesn't kill all the good bacteria. Okay, I could be totally wrong. Angela, I'm sorry if I am, but I don't think I am. But that's what makes the difference in their product. And you can see it. I mean, I can eat it. So right there I see it, you know. It's like the people that come in, I've talked about before on the show. Like, oh, I can't eat meat from the store. Yeah, well, I get it. It's not really meat. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so I think that recaps everything on the permaculture package that I've been asked. If you hear me on this and you have questions, please feel free, reach out. We're flexible. I want to get as many people eating real local food, even if it's not ours, as I can. That's my whole mission here with this show, is to expose people to real food and educate them and like kind of turn you on to going to meet a farmer. Again, even if it's not us. You don't have to come to Daigle Farm to eat right. Find a good farmer. Meet them. Become friends. There's nothing wrong with that. Wherever you are. Trust me. I'm a farmer. We are everywhere. And not like the ad says. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Crap. We're real farmers. Anyway, that wraps up the permaculture package. It did remind me, Kyle, who we had on the show, environmental scientist Kyle, he sent me a link the other day to, what's that company? Boar's Head, and how their plant, like where they manufacture their meats, had insects and slime and mold and all sorts of stuff. And I just wasn't surprised. Massive recalls, disgusting, poisoning people. Ugh. Brother, ugh. Not good. And so that was funny. And then I saw this meme. It's been going around. It depicts, on the left side, it's got like a carcass from a pig that is really nice, low fat content. The meat, the chops look good, blah blah blah. And then on the right, it's got a carcass of a pig that's super fatty, very little meat, blah blah blah. And the caption says, the pig on the left was fed no corn and no soy and just lived off the land, and then the pig on the right, that's all fatty, was fed a diet of corn and soy grain. Know what's in your food, blah, blah. Okay, let me tell you all a little bit about bullshit, okay? This meme is 100% fake news, all right? I'm sure you've seen it. It's everywhere. And I get it's like it's good marketing for this community. But let me tell you something. That is a lie. What do you think our pigs eat? It's corn and soy. It's a corn and soy based grain meal. More corn than soy, I will say, and it's all locally grown in this area. Animals, pigs, we bred pigs specifically to eat corn. Okay? Domesticated pigs are okay eating corn. Okay? And soy. I'm going to throw it out there. And soy. I don't care, soy haters. Come at me, bro. They need it. Otherwise, you're supplementing protein with an animal byproduct. So that's fine. You can say, I don't want to feed my pig soy. Where's the protein coming from, homeboy? It's coming from somewhere. They're going to put animal protein, most likely, into that meal. You can make the argument, oh, no, they're using sorghum. Yeah, okay. A, doubtful. B, super expensive. And C, why? Okay? It's these misleading memes. That could be, might start a little thing. Misleading memes, especially pertaining to agriculture, because there's so many. There's so freaking many, I can't even begin to tell you. I see them all the time. So I see this one, and I see all of our customers. So many of our customers are sharing it, which is, again, it's really good for our business. Don't get me wrong. But folks, it's a lie. It's not true. That's not what the meat looks like. You want to know how I know? Because I cut it the freak up, all right? Man, I want to drop the F-bomb there. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying to keep it PG. But sometimes I get, heated over this stuff. It's so crazy because then it just it's creating more people that think they know about local foods and such, and they really don't. They're just being misled in a different direction, albeit towards me. It's still towards me, but know the freaking truth, all right? Misleading memes of agriculture, so many of them. That's one of them. Because guess what? If I held my pig carcass up, mine would look like the one that wasn't fed corn and soy, but they're fed corn and soy. Ta-da! Fake news, all right? Now, our pigs eat a ton of stuff, don't get me wrong. We have a big market garden. And every time we rotate a crop, which is all the time, whatever's left goes right to the pigs or the chickens. But a lot of times the chickens can't, they don't eat broccoli stems and corn stalks and all that stuff. The pigs do. So our pigs are eating a lot more than just corn and soy. And they root around all through the understory of our forest here, giving them a lot of space and a lot of things to do. So, it's more of the lifestyle that grows the meat, the lifestyle that animal has. Okay, if that animal was confined to a 10 by 10 concrete slab and fed garbage, yeah, it's gonna get fatty. Okay, and guess what? I've known of and seen local pigs grown locally by a local farmer, woohoo, that look like crap. The carcass looks like crap. The meat is garbage. It's fatty. You know why? Because they fed it every free damn thing they could find. I hear it all the time. Oh, I don't pay for pig food. Oh, you don't? Then your pork is trash. Your pork is 60% fat, 10% pork, and 30% what are you doing? You're miseducating people. Feed them what they were bred to eat, and don't feed them bread. I hate the bread farmers. You're out there. You're going to hear me. Know it. You're part of the problem. Just because it's free doesn't mean it should be for ye, all right? Feeding a pig just bread and milk creates a disgusting animal, and a not healthy one either. You shouldn't eat the bread in the store. We shouldn't eat the bread in the store. What makes you think that the pig should eat the bread in the store and that's it? Ugh. Really grinds my gears, you know what I'm saying? Boils my blood. Poor farming practices. All right. I'm done with that. Sorry. Misleading memes of agriculture. So many. And that's one I've seen recently. And I've seen so many people share it. So many people. And I'm not going to comment and be like, hey, you're wrong, hey, you're wrong, hey, you're wrong. I'm just going to put it out here and be like, hey, that's wrong. And hopefully you can hear me and understand the difference here. Like, it's just not real. I've handled many pig carcasses, all right? When they're fed corn and soy, the way we do them here, and they're allowed to range and do what they do, they don't look like shit. Promise. Anyway, I'm going to close the show with some final thoughts here. We're clearing a lot of land, and we're going to put some pigs there. But we're also going to be putting some specialty crops. Really toying with the idea of a pick-your-own cherry patch. If you hear this and that sounds fun to you, something you would do, let me know. I really want to poll the audience. I'm going to ask our customers too, pick your own cherries. What do you say? It's not something that's being done. And they have a low bush cherry now. It's not a tree. It's just a shrub. So you could treat it in cultivation much like that of a blueberry. People can just pick them themselves when they're ripe, net them so the bugs don't get them, and the birds, of course. So Pick Your Own Cherries, I think, is coming to Daigle Farm soon. Might even be this year. I'm going to have Mike from Canterbury Hort on again. We're going to talk about these specialty crops because he's a savant when it comes to growing, so I want to pick his brain about some of these things. So I'm thinking low bush cherries, a little pick-your-own action. I've always had a thing for hazelnuts. When I started drinking coffee, I'd only drink like hazelnut coffee. Now I don't drink any flavor in my coffee, and sometimes it's black. But that's not the point. The point is, interesting crop. I think people would buy them, and maybe even local coffee people would buy them and infuse them into their coffees. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Two Dogs, if you hear me, Two Dogs, Brittany and Willem, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how that goes. If they got to be roasted in our commercial kitchen and then you can do what you got to do with them, or so be it, I don't know. But that would be cool. I'm also thinking about doing arborvitaes or some kind of shrub crop that we can sell as a shrub grown here in the ground every year. So B&B is a burlap ball. You know, you ever see like at a nursery, there's like a tree and it's not in a pot, it's in a burlap root ball type situation. That's kind of what I want to do here. I want to put in a specialty crop, probably just the same one item, you know, like all green giant arborvitaes, and sell some every year and grow them right in the ground and just dig them up and sell them as needed, by grade, by size, by need, by job, whatever. I'm leaning towards a green giant arborvitae. It's probably a 2 to 3 year crop before we can even sell any. You know, theoretically, you could sell them at whatever size someone wants them for. That's the truth. But to sell them at like a 4 or 5 foot grade, you know, really get top dollar, probably going to take 2 to 3 seasons. Now, this type of plant will put on 3 foot of growth in 1 year. You got to trim it so it bushes out. So there's horticulture practices that you got to do that require it to act the way you want it to, even in the ground. So I want to pick Mike's brain about that over at Canterbury Hort. I want to see what he thinks would be a cool crop to do at a scale like we have here. I'll probably put in like 4 50-ish foot trenches. Maybe they're a little bit bigger. I haven't done a full size measure on them. And then every year we'll have a trench to dig and plants to sell that we grow here on the farm. And arborvitaes are a hot item. Could do something else like a physocarpus or, I don't know, hydrangea variety. I did think of tree hydrangeas. Now that would be a hot item. That would be a hot item. Expensive to get in, though. I think they're like $40 a tree. Wholesale cost, probably more for me because I'm not going to buy hundreds. And then what? I got to grow them for a year, and then they would look beautiful. Maybe that's the answer. Green giant arborvitaes and hydrangea trees. Lots to think about. 2025. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Simply Growing Food podcast. Please, if you could, share our show with folks you know. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for listening to the Simply Growing Food podcast. If you liked it, please share us with a friend or a family member. We appreciate your support. And don't forget, we want to hear from you. We want to know what you want to hear us talk about. If you got questions about farming, if you got questions about what you're eating, please send it to us. You can send it to us at www.simplygrowingfood.com, or you can send us an email at simplygrowingfood@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Simply Growing Food Podcast, or just find us on Facebook under Daigle Farm. Give us a Google for Daigle Farm. You'll find us. We appreciate the support. Thanks for all of it.